guys, welcome, and we are live. Woo! How exciting. So welcome, thank you for joining me today on this glorious sunny day here in Metro Detroit, June 12th, the middle of June. Can you believe it? We're already in the middle of June. Where has this year gone? It's just crazy. I can't get over that. So anyways, how you doing? How's everybody doing today? It's a Wednesday, hump day, woot woot, or Wild Wednesday, depending on how you look at it. I just want to thank you for joining me here today, and thank you. I am your host, JJ. This is the Rideshare Etiquette, and I appreciate your listening. So, I can hear you out there in podcast land asking me, so you think you're an expert on rideshare etiquette? Well, guess what? I'm not. I don't profess to be an expert. I'm not. However, I feel that I am qualified. And you ask, why do you think you're qualified? Well, let me give you a brief rundown about me. My backstory goes as follows. I started driving for Uber in late November 2015 and for Lyft in mid-January 2016. Currently, I have over 4,600 rides completed with Uber, and over 1,300 rides with Lyft. So, yeah, I've seen a thing or two, heard a thing or two, and OMG'd a thing or two. So I feel I have got some qualifications to make me want to talk about etiquette, especially since so many people are just not in the know, and it's unfortunate. I wanted to just tell you a few things that happened recently that people out there in podcast land, be aware that these are some of the pet peeves of Uber and Lyft drivers that passengers do. They grind the gears of Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, and they grind my gears really badly. I mean, it's like, seriously? I can't believe you're like this. So, a lot of people, passengers, are under the assumption or totally unaware that it is okay to eat in a driver's car without first asking permission. Spoiler alert, it is not okay to eat in that driver's car without asking permission. And you're like, excuse me? I'm sorry? Say what? Yeah, it's not okay. Be aware that drivers get rated on by passengers about how clean their car is, how tidy their car is, inside and out. Many passengers have told me that they will get into a driver's car and they don't know what's on the seats. And there's a god-awful smell in the car. And there's many times when I've had passengers get in my car picking up takeout, and this is something I can't control. None of us can, except for the person getting the takeout. Sometimes the food's just a little bit on the strong, pungent side. Yeah, I don't want that smell in my car because I don't want the next passenger getting in my car, rating me on the fact that my car has a particularly funky smell to it. And I totally get it. I don't want to smell that car either. So the best thing to do is, if you're totally unsure, just ask, okay? Just like, hey, is it okay if I have a bite of fries in my car? Because in all honesty, I'd rather you ask than not ask, because inside I'm totally screaming at you in my head for not asking, where if you ask, I'm like, hey, that's cool, I appreciate your asking, but sorry, no. You get into your parents' cars when you're growing up, and how many times did you think it was okay to bite into that cookie, and your mom turns around the back seat and says, don't eat in that car, it's going to make a mess. Or you your friend picks you up and you've got a bag from McDonald's and you start munching into the fries and your friend looks at you and says, dude, you didn't even ask. Don't eat my car, okay, cool? And I've had passengers tell me they'll get into other drivers' cars that have signs plastered all over the place that says, no eating or drinking whatsoever in my car. Me personally, I'm cool with you drinking. If you want to have your coffee in the car, I feel you, I get you, have that coffee. If you want to drink water, Gatorade, whatever have you. If you want to drink something in my car, I tell you where the car, what do they call those things? Cup holder is, and yeah, you can have a drink in my car. Not a problem. I'm cool with that. I'm just not cool with you eating in my car because, number one, you're not asking. Now, this does go back to Uber and Lyft's community guidelines about being respectful, being mindful of others, and being courteous. And if you're not sure, look them up. Google them. Now, I have come across an article written on the Business Insider website. I will leave a link below in the description box for you to check it out in further detail. And it's basically, they had a reporter go and poll many Uber and Lyft drivers. And they said, what are your most common complaints that you have had from passengers? And all the drivers have listed a host of complaints. And of course, eating in the car was one of those. They were up like there in the top 5 or so. Yeah, I'm right there with you on those drivers. Do not eat in my car. End of story. Like I said, I'm going back to the fact that another passenger is going to get in my car. And maybe it's a case of two because they're adding rides to your queue. So you really don't have time to stop and do a quick look-see to see how that back seat looks. And there's been times when you're like a minute away. So you drop one off and then you go to the next ride and then find out later on you got a 4 or 5, 3 or 2 or 1. And you look and you're like, oh, car could have been cleaned better or something, or car stunk, whatever have you. This is not fair to us as a driver, okay? And personally, a lot of people take pride in their vehicles, and they want the inside to look great and the outside to look great. Now, I have had passengers tell me in the past, like I said, they get into cars where it stinks, it's filthy, they don't know where they should sit. Drivers, don't be that driver. Seriously. You're going to get rated, you're going to get reported. Just be cool about things. Be respectful, of other people's properties. And turn it around, passengers. Would you want someone to get in your car with tacos or with some shawarma? Something that's really messy, greasy, and has a lot of sauce, and start munching on it in the back seat? I think not. I truly think not. So just take a second, and if you're unsure, ask. Now, in my car, it is clearly stated in black and white that, and I have the little sign on my console, and it's, I figured that's the middle of the car. Everybody's got to see this. And it says, please kindly refrain from smoking, vaping, drinking alcohol, open alcohol, and eating in the car. In black and white. I mean, I can't get more plainer than that. It is impolite. It is discourteous. And if you have children with you and you want them to have something to munch on, ask if you're not sure, and just say, hey, we're not too far from home. As soon as we get out of the car, I will give this to you. Just be courteous, okay? Be thoughtful, be respectful. I need a drink of water. Sorry, one moment, please. So basically, that's all I have to say on that matter. And I appreciate all of you listening. I appreciate your finding my podcasts. I appreciate you downloading my podcasts. And my podcasts can be heard on Google Podcasts, Castbox, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Spreaker. They can also be downloaded on the iTunes Store. I truly appreciate you listening once again. Everybody, take care, be safe, practice random acts of kindness and beauty in your everyday life. Be thoughtful, mindful of others, and also be kind to animals because they don't have a voice. Peace, love, Woof.